Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Becky Sotero here, hanging out with Marcus Craig. We've got his brother Michael hanging out with us out of New Mexico via Zoom. You guys have dominated so far season 34 of The Amazing Race. Welcome.
Nice to be here. Thanks, Becky, for having us.
Oh my gosh, it's been so incredible to watch you guys. These first legs have been something else. Michael, talk a little bit, it's good to hear from you here. Talk a little bit about your guys' logistics. You guys both have a military background, but there was a little bit of an issue there in that first leg with driving.
Well, given Marcus, the Army guy, he's on the land nav. I'm flying at speeds above the speed of sound in the air and whatnot. So I figured that he would do well with land navigation. And so driving through Germany, which we've been to and lived. I mean, obviously not lived in Munich, but since we've been around, know some of the streets and how the streets work. I figured that he would be the sole navigator for the entire thing unless he got really bad, and then I would set it up.
You guys, it was such a nerve-wracking first leg. So I was like, okay, they dominated that barrel roll. Yeah. You're good to go. And I know it's creative editing, right? Yeah. So they give us those sweats for a reason, right? But,
for sure.
But we know wood cutting is not your forte. Let's walk through that for a minute. So that may not be a side gig for you guys.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, there is a bit of, I think, panic and stress that we were feeling because when the scramble, everybody's doing a different task at a different time. When Michael and I arrived there were only 2 clues in the clue box. So we're like, are we last?
Right,
or
because
towards
it was a
the
scramble
end?
too.
Yes. And so that was like kind of in our heads. I mean, let alone like sawing skills weren't great either.
Listen, it's about
Don't push.
Right, there really is a rhythm with that. Now, kind of let's go back into, again, you guys were in these beautiful locations. You were in Germany, you were in Austria. I want to talk about last night. You guys had an incredible show. How much can you really take in of the sights? Because you're racing, obviously.
Well, at least for last night's episode, right, when during the Yodel challenge, we're just so focused on the task at hand and obviously executing and then leaving as soon as possible, that we're up on this mountaintop, on this mountainside, and it overlooked the city in a river that ran through the city, and I didn't even notice any of it. And I remember the camera crew asked us later, like, how much I enjoyed the view, and I was like, I didn't even see it. So I was paying attention to the task.
And again, the yodeling, that was painful. That was for everybody. So I have to just say, Michael, you killed it.
I mean, I don't know how my voice sounds.
Look into the camera.
You can ask Lonnie, because whenever we're together, I sing a lot, but I don't think my singing skills are that great.
You were great. You were great. Well, I do want to bring to light here that you guys are one of the only teams who have not utilized the locals. You've just been kind of going after it on your own. So is that something we just didn't see, we weren't privy to? Did you use the locals for help?
Well, there was one time in Munich towards Michael, he's smiling already. In Austria, we didn't use any locals. In Munich, so at the end when we parked, it was like go to the pit stop, and then it seemed pretty easy. Cross this bridge, you run on the ground, and then you get to field.
Sure.
But as we parked the car, we asked the guy on the side of the road, and it's like, hey, where's the underground? And he was like, yeah, it's like 2 kilometers that way. And so we were running up the road with Tim and Rex.
Okay.
And then because we're listening to this guy, and so that was the one time, and
you had to utilize the locals.
Yes, and then he steered us the wrong way.
Now something else.
It's the wrong direction. He cost us like 4th place.
Yeah.
He got there. We saw 3 cars in front of us. We were like, all right, sweet, we're good.
You two, your dynamic is wonderful. I obviously know there's an 8-year gap, correct? So your bigger brother really comes out, Marcus. But Michael, you don't shy away. I love that you guys give each other the business. And again, we don't know how this is going to shake out, but I feel like this is something for the show that's a blessing, because you guys, know how to get what you want to say to each other out. There's no drama. You get it done. Do you agree?
Michael?
Michael put on me.
No, I don't answer.
I guess, we do in a way, and I think that our jobs also kind of facilitate in some of that communication.
Sure.
But you can see the first episode, I didn't say a whole lot. I just made a bunch of faces. And then the second episode, you can see the big brother Marcus coming out during the bells.
No
comments.
To answer your question, like there's not a lot of emotion in that. I mean, maybe there's some frustration that happens, but we say a thing, whether it's direct, maybe it's even some snide remarks we say to each other, but after it's said, and we just move on.
Absolutely, that's my point.
Yeah.
Is it doesn't feel like you guys are carrying that into the next
Oh,
competition.
no, not at all.
No.
Yeah, and I think that as a viewer, that's endearing because we're like, oh, we see that competition with each other, but there's also the give and take that has been so lovely. But you didn't spend a lot of time together when you were younger. You were obviously thrown into the situation where for 21 days you're together. Yeah. What are some things besides the music? We learned last night that you didn't know each other played musical instruments.
Yeah.
What are some things that, give us the BTS that we didn't see on the show that you learned about each other? Something that surprised you?
You know what? I should have came prepared with that one, but remember one day we just sat up and talked. I mean, I think a lot of it really that's coming to the forefront is like Mike's dating history.
My what?
Your dating history, right? That was something we talked about.
Be gentle.
What are you shaking your head for?
That's what we want. Oh, Marcus, you are throwing your brother under the bridge. Listen, we'll leave it. We can leave it at that. But how about you, Michael? Your turn. What about Marcus did you learn?
I mean, it was more of childhood. When him and Will were in Chicago, how they grew up, things they did. I remember there was one story he told me that they didn't have a basketball hoop, so they just would aim at a part of the garage and shoot a basketball and pretend a hoop was there. Is that right, Marcus? Did I get that right?
No, you did. So he mentioned Will. That is three of us that are siblings, and so we have one older brother.
Sure.
I'm the middle son. But yeah, so we didn't humble beginnings, I guess.
Sure.
And so
Sure.
it's like you just have to make do with what we had.
I love that, and you guys have made do.
No,
it
was just like it was something I had never known, and then we just laughed about it for a while.
Yeah.
Listen, you guys have made do with this incredible season so far. We're so excited to see where you guys end up. Really quick before we go, is there anything that we should be looking out for in these next couple episodes?
What do we got? They already showed the preview of Next Leg. I think they show Michael and I rolling down the street. I think we have to we can't say anything until they actually air the preview.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. We're about to see you roll down the street.
Yeah.
All right.
We're pushing a heavy cart of cheese somewhere.
Ooh, I'm allergic to cheese, so I'll stay clear from that.
You saw Claire working on a motorcycle, so I actually have that motorcycle at home. Yeah.
More on that to come. Michael, thank you for joining us from New Mexico. Marcus, thank you for being here in the studio. We are so excited to watch you guys continue to dominate. We'll see you guys soon.
Thanks, Becky.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.